Welcome, everybody. Good to see you all.
Welcome to you too.
Thank you. And good to see you, Sandra.
Yes.
Nice to see you all.
I missed your meeting last week, sorry, but we had good representation there.
It was a good
Certainly
meeting.
did.
Yes.
It was a good meeting.
Yep, so, thank you, everybody. So, it's good to be a part of a team, and we're working hard to have the Friends be,
Cohesive.
yes, work with us, and then we work with, all work with EHS. So, that's our objective.
Correct.
Right, so, okay. We all have an agenda, I believe. And I'm going to just ask, does anyone have anything they would like to add to the agenda? Even though I know that I apologize again publicly, I sent it out late to the group. So, I usually send it out on Friday, and I blew it this weekend, so. But if you have anything, you can always bring it up anyway. So, just speak up. Okay, we have everyone here.
Yes.
That is exciting, and I hope everyone's going to stay in tomorrow and be safe. So,
Absolutely. Yep. That's the
all
word.
right. So we are all here. And do you have any outreach workers in?
They are upstairs calling all of our at-risk residents.
Okay.
Because of the storm tomorrow. They're not gonna make it down.
They're not going to make it. That's fine. That's okay, just so we know. The outreach workers are all very busy taking care of their jobs, and taking care of seniors who might need help. So, okay, thank you. And to welcome Sandra. So, once again, as I always do, remind everybody it's an open meeting, and we have to adhere to the laws, so don't forget that. And announcements.
I do. I have two.
Oh, and two announcements, great.
Two I always have.
Well, that's okay, they're good announcements, and they're good reminders.
One is the Memory Cafe will be at the Littleton Baptist Church on the corner by the Common at 10 o'clock on Saturday, February 24th. The other one is the Food Pantry, the little box down at the Baptist Church by the parking lot.
Yep.
That gets emptied very rapidly, and it can always use more. It's amazing how fast things go. So those are my two announcements.
Great, I'm glad that you did that, because it's interesting. This week, when Anita and I met, we had met with Nicole to plan the agenda for the meeting, and we got talking about, I don't know how we got talking about it, but anyway, the Memory Cafe came up. And Nicole asked me to submit to her a little blurb about the details about it, which I did.
Good.
So she's going to be putting it out and trying to get it out to people. I think maybe on the Facebook. I don't know where, but anyway, I submitted what she asked for, and she replied back and said it was great. So.
She was also going to try to find space in the broadcaster, so every month it'll be in there, if there's room.
Right, but that's okay. She has something in writing, which I actually called Ann Lee Ellis, who runs the Memory Cafe, and she steered me in the direction of an article that had already been written by a church member. So I incorporated that into the article that I submitted to EHS, just so everybody knows.
Church members are extremely helpful down there.
They are. They love it. First Baptist members, or not even non-members, but people that participate, you know, in the church, are very interested in being active and sharing what they can do to help people.
Yeah.
So it's very much an outreach church.
Yes.
So. Anyway, but thank you for doing that, and please mention it every month, because it's good.
And the food pantry, I went down one day with 2 grocery bags of things, and I had a few things the next day, and I had filled it up that first day, and I'm squeezed. When I went down the
Gone,
next
it's
day,
gone.
it was almost empty, and I thought,
I
that
tried,
is
yeah.
really sad that there's that much
Yep.
need in this town.
Often when I drive by, because I drive by there to get to my house, often, if I'm down this way,
Yeah.
and I'll see people there.
Yeah.
So, and I know that we do have drives in the church. I'm a member of First Baptist, and we do have drives periodically.
Okay.
And Ann Lee oversees that. Ann Lee Ellis oversees the food pantry too. So thank you.
I don't drive to my own church, because I take it down here, because our church does is in Acton, so they do the Acton Food Pantry. And I said, no, I can't, I have to do Littleton.
There's plenty of need here in Littleton.
Yeah. I think there is everywhere.
Yeah, there is. So, thank you very much. Other announcements?
Our craft class is Wednesday.
If everyone's shoveled out by then, huh?
Everybody's out and able to come back in, and we're going to be felting snowmen. Perfect.
Oh, no.
And it's something that the employees did for Christmas, making snowmen with felting, and our craft class saw it and said, I want to make a snowman, so she's coming back. I heard from her today. And so it'll be a fun class.
It will be, I
Hopefully
think.
you'll have a
Yeah.
really good time.
And everybody should want to get out after being cooped up all day tomorrow.
Yes.
This is amazing to me. I happened to have my TV on shortly before I came here, and this cancellations galore already on the screens.
Yeah.
Ticker tape on the bottom.
And that's probably why, so that everybody is,
Right. I was in a meeting with the DPW director this morning, and he was talking about the preparations. It's going to be a fast storm, but
A lot.
heavy.
heavy.
And it's
A lot of
wet,
snow.
I
Yeah.
heard.
Yeah, they're brining already, the roads. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we canceled all our vans for tomorrow. Meals on Wheels were canceled. Classes are canceled as well.
Is that Lorelei?
Yes, it is.
She's been here the whole time.
I didn't look up. Hi, Lorelei. Okay. Any other announcements? No, okey-doke. We'll move on then to accept the minutes. I hope, as usual, they're very concise and thorough. Lorelei does a great job.
She does a very good job.
She does. Amazing job. So,
I'll move to accept them as read.
as read, as they are.
As they are.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Thank you. We have a motion to accept, a motion and seconded to accept the minutes of the January 8th meeting as
As read.
read. Any further discussion? No? Okay. We'll take that vote then. And I never made my little helpful list, but we'll go around, starting over at this end of the table. So, thank you.
Yes.
Yes, that we got a positive. from-
Yes, for Mary Ann
And,
Pidgey.
and John Peachy, so the Peachies. So, thank you.
Yes.
And Anita's a yes?
Yes.
Susan's yes?
Yes.
Joe's yes?
Yes.
Yes, and Jean's yes, and March is a yes. So we have a unanimous vote. Thank you
Yes,
very
thank you.
much.
Yes.
Okay. So, moving right along. Sandra's here. And we welcome you to a microphone just to help people at home or, that are watching.
Thank you.
Oh, it's Lorelei. I'm sorry. No, I didn't ask you.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh. You're going to think I'm
She said, oh, fine, I've been ignored twice.
twice now. I'm so sorry. I apologize. I'm not at my best, and I know I'm not at my best today, so bear with me, folks. But anyway, can I rescind my motion? How do I have to officially handle this? Just go backwards and just
And just accept her. Just
accept
her.
and a vote
Yeah.
from Lorelei to accept the minutes
Yeah.
with my apology. So, okay, now I can say it was a unanimous vote.
Unanimous.
Right.
So, thank you. Watch out for me today, please. Okay, Sandra, and good to see you.
Thank you. Good to see all of you.
Yes, how's everything going? I hear you're hopping.
Good, yeah. The Friends are ramping up their efforts to fundraise. Last month, Charlie DiStefano organized a fundraiser at Anthony's Coal-Fired Pizza.
Yep.
And we raised $1,400 at the restaurant, which they gave us 20% of. So that was a lot of fun. Anthony's wants us to do it again, so perhaps we'll do it again maybe in the summer where we can eat outside. The thrift shop has now been open just over 2 months. And as promised, we put out vacation clothing. We've spilt out into the hall of the church. Thank you, church. And that's been a lot of fun. A funny anecdote. On Sunday, there was a little meeting out in the hall, and the pastor's granddaughter cited a top she really liked. So Ann Lee from the church sent me a picture telling me that she wanted that and to put it on her grandmother's tab. So that was cute. So please come to the thrift shop if you haven't been there yet. It's very cute. We have 3 little rooms, and now we're a little bit in the hall temporarily. And currently, we're getting prom dresses together. That's where I just came from, putting prom dresses out and accessories. And I put a plea out to next door, asking anyone that had prom dresses or accessories, they can donate to the thrift shop. Because I was told last week that prom is the end of April.
Yes.
So I had about 30 dresses
Wow.
for prom. I have purses, I have shoes, and lots of jewelry, but could use more, so I have a variety of sizes. So if you have any, stop by the thrift when we're open, which is Monday. I'm sorry, we're not open on Monday anymore. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 10 to 3, and Saturday, 10 to 1. Hope to see you there. Thank you.
Wow, that's so true. My granddaughter's been out with her mother shopping, and her grandmother has been horrified to hear the prices.
Oh, yeah.
Unreal. So,
Unbelievable.
yes, the thrift shop sounds like a great
prices.
place to go shopping
We
to
have
me.
some beautiful dresses.
And they're so, the prom dresses now are so much more expensive.
Yeah,
Oh, terrible.
my son was telling me, they texted him and said, is $700 okay?
No way.
Yeah, no. Yes, yes, and he said, no, it's not acceptable.
Holy cannoli.
For an 18-year-old,
Prom dress that she's gonna have on for 2 hours.
Yeah, once, probably.
Maybe she should, you could do rentals too.
Yeah,
That's a good idea.
Rent the dress
well, maybe, yeah.
instead of buying it outright.
Well, but anyway, you're right, that's a great idea to, if we can get the word, so pass the word out, board members, when you're talking to people,
We
and
all
suggest,
have gowns in our closets.
well, I don't know about that, I pretty
Well,
much.
I do. In fact, a couple of them I'm looking at saying, no, do I want to part with this?
Yeah.
Or wait till it's a vintage.
Yeah.
I have mother of the bride things, but I think, that type of a dress, but I don't think it quite is the same as a junior prom for a high school girl. Anyway,
Do you have anything more to talk about fundraising going forward?
Well, we'll have more next month.
Next
because
month,
We need
okay.
to touch base with Liz again as things firm up on our next project.
Yeah, it sounds like it's gonna be a really good project,
Yeah, it's going to be a big one.
a big one with a lot of
Related
people.
to the senior center.
Yeah, and
Oh,
there's
good.
a lot of people that wanna help you,
So
so
stay tuned.
I think that's really good. You've got your feet dug in, ready to go,
We do,
so,
we do.
yeah.
that's exciting. We can, I think it was last month, we've been talking about how the board is going to be moving forward and what we're going to be taking on. And I do think that the role the Friends of the Library played when the library was being built came up, and we were discussing that. So, and the wonderful job they did raising money.
We're definitely going to be using the library, Friends of the Library as consultants,
Great,
definitely.
wonderful, that's great. Great news.
Yeah, it was a really
If they'll
good,
have us.
I think so.
it was a really good meeting.
Littleton's probably a nice
Now,
town.
we can help, if I'm right, we can help the Friends in planning things that they're going to do for fundraising. We just can't ask for donations as board members.
Right.
Is that how it
You'd
is?
be able to help with the operations of organizing,
Of doing
but
it all.
not
Sure.
explicitly soliciting.
Yeah.
Right, and not
That's
managing,
what I thought.
not being the manager and the sponsor of an event. I mean,
Yeah.
running the event, but
Yeah, and you've
certainly
got a
can
couple
help that.
people, you have a couple people who want to head that up, so
Yes.
you're really lucky.
I know that a lot of the trustees were spotted helping at mini golf, and they were hands-on helping at the events.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that would be fine, then. We're not gonna get in trouble for doing that.
Yeah, the committee for the project isn't just the Friends of the COA.
No, it should be townspeople that wanna help, and
Exactly.
seniors.
Yes.
There must be seniors. We're gonna be talking, I think, about that when we get down to our business, but there are plenty of seniors in town that want to participate and be a part of this. It's exciting.
It is.
So, okay, great. Thank you. Any other questions for Sandra? But stick around, who knows? Okay. All right. Do you have anything you'd like to say for the department today? I know you've had a rough, busy time too, Liz.
Yes. Thank you for bearing with me while I was out all last week. A little bit of a rough time, but I appreciate everyone's kind words for my son. I'll jump into the numbers.
Numbers are good.
Numbers are good. Let me go there, otherwise I'll get verklempt. Okay, it was a very busy January for our department. I don't know why I can't get the picture off there. We had a lot of outreach contacts. It just seemed to be walk-in after walk-in, and
Wow.
the same people who, the people who were coming to us for assistance had very complex issue, which caused them to come back again and again and again, as there's never an easy answer for some of these issues we're working on. We're seeing a lot of housing type issues.
Here town, in Littleton,
Housing, yeah.
statewide housing issues, Littleton housing
People in
issues,
town, it's people,
all over.
yeah, it's.
Is it repairs or losing their homes or?
There's,
No housing issues?
there's a little of everything. People who need some really critical home repairs, trying to find funding to do those things, weighing the options of, do I stay in this home and repair it? Do I make the move to sell now?
Where do I go?
Really complex, yeah. Then also people whose leases aren't being renewed and they need to find new places to live, and
Ouch.
you know, there's always folks who are in neighboring towns and somehow find their way to Littleton looking for just a place to live in general. And, you know, we don't turn people away. We're going to give you the resources who to contact in the town you're in. So it's been a lot. You can see our total outreach interactions, the 881. That's phone calls, emails, walk-ins, log. That's the highest for the fiscal year so far. I should have also highlighted this 706 number, the over 60 outreach interactions, the highest it's been all fiscal year. And then in terms of the unduplicated people, just the people, we're counting them once, no matter how many times they come back to us. For under 60, we had 30 individuals come to us for assistance.
Wow.
That's a lot more
And-
too.
Yeah, we've kind of been hovering in the high 20s, but yeah, our outreach workers, Amy and Alicia, have been very busy and been doing a great job with these very complex cases, so.
That says to
Really
me
proud
that
of
the
them.
word must be getting out that we do provide the services, because we knew for a long time that people weren't aware.
Exactly, and we're receiving a lot of emails from out of state as well, children who live farther away, and trying to figure out how to make that first step for their parents who they're hearing a decline on the phone, they're not quite sure what's going on. What's the first step? I mean, I just had a voicemail earlier today from that exact type of situation.
Wow.
But I'm glad they know about us. I'm glad they are reaching out and not waiting till it's an absolute crisis to look for help, like
Right.
getting to us before that boil over point. I like to see that. So in that specific email, the person said, I hope I'm not bothering you or overstepping, but no. Let us know before something happens, and we'll try our best to reach out. And a lot of times we get the question, my parents aren't receptive to help, they don't think they need help, they're physically declining. We get that all of the time, but we don't mind cold calling, we don't mind reaching out to folks. And, usually we use like a different tactic to get into the door, let them know, hey, we see you own your home, we have a property tax relief program, did you know about X, Y, and Z? You can get different abatements and go in a different way. Or somebody who doesn't drive, give them a call. Did you know we have a van? And kind of go in a different route before we even broach the topic of in-home services, like a home health aide or a homemaker or something along those lines. So there's different ways we can reach people. So I hope nobody ever hesitates to call for any reason because they don't think their parents will accept or their neighbor won't accept, no matter who it is. Just give us a call. I mean, even if we just get their details on file so we know of them or about them when something does happen.
I don't say nothing ventured, nothing gained maybe applies. Maybe, so it's okay to venture. Put the word out.
Have you seen any more reaction from when we did the tax relief dinner and stuff? More people calling about that? get help?
You know, I have walked a few people down to the assessor's office. I think Kathy Biller this morning in a meeting said that she's had more requests for abatements than ever before.
Oh, yeah, we're busy.
Yeah, up
We're
to
very
somewhere in the
busy.
60s, I think it was.
Yeah, it's the values went up and the tax rate went down, but it didn't go down enough,
Yeah.
and we're getting an awful lot of applications for abatement right now.
I don't know how many of those are seniors or disabled, I can ask her, but it feels like we've been walking a lot of people down the hall for like the CPA abatement or something like that, or
That's good.
exemption. Yeah. Yeah, every little small bit helps.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. A lot of walk-ins for senior tax work-off for people who had just received their bills and are looking for something. A lot of walk-ins for that program. Had to make more photocopies of the application, but we're nearing the limit with that program, so we might hit a cap soon.
I've been calling a lot of COAs and I've been asking them about that senior tax. The towns aren't using it. We're using it in a really good way, but other towns are like, well, I have 10 or 15
Yeah.
people and that's it, and I'm trying to figure out why.
Yeah, I mean, the town has to want to invest the money back
Yeah.
into the program.
Right.
Not every town is willing to do that, and also administratively, it is a lot of work to find these people jobs and placements and keep track of timesheets and supervise them in a way. It's a combination of things, but I think our Littleton has made an investment in this program that not a lot of towns
Right.
are willing or able to do. It's a tough time financially for a lot of different towns, especially budget season. I'm seeing other COA directors have to make budget A, budget B, and, back up if things get cut. What can they live without kind of thing. So I think we're in an okay spot.
Speaking of that, this is a little bit off, but, because we're not talking about statistics in the month, but I just need to say, I watched Liz when she went before the Finance Committee and the Select Board with her budget. And I was amazed to hear a member of the Finance Committee say, when it was all over and they were pretty much done, said to her, how do you do everything you do?
Yeah.
With this little bit of money we give you. Did he not say that to you?
Yes, he did.
The shoestring budget.
Yeah, he
Yes,
did.
it was amazing. And it's so
They didn't
true.
offer any more.
No, I know. But you know what? It's amazing, but they appreciate it.
Right.
And that was the take home for me. Well, they really realize, she does a lot. They do
Yeah.
a lot, not just
That's
Liz. but-
exactly where I'll seg you into my next
Okay,
The
good.
next portion, we finalized our budget to the select board and the FinCom and presented it in January. So I just wanted to give you a couple highlights that I shared with them because I think these are important numbers. When I do the budget presentation, I usually like to go in and use that time to kind of shine the spotlight on our department and talk about how great the team is, how much we do, because we don't often get the chance outside of this room in this meeting. We don't get to talk about how many good things we do. So 1,456 bags of food delivered from the Loaves and Fishes food pantry, 6,275 Meals on Wheels delivered by our volunteers out of our kitchen here. Alicia did 90 in-person Shine appointments.
Wow.
Crazy.
Our van rides increased 63% over the last fiscal year. We have 15 people in the rental assistance program, which provides $250 per month to people renting in Littleton. And we had 1,286 events and activities held over the course of the year. So you had that many options or opportunities to participate in something. I thought that was
That's really
pretty spectacular.
great.
We also added 140 different opportunities to share a meal together. So outside of Meals on Wheels, outside of congregate meals, you had 140 different options throughout the year to come get a balanced meal, whether it be tied into a lunch and learn or one of our breakfasts. We offered that low cost, no cost option for people in town.
Plus you added shuttles for shopping and things and more, getting people out more.
Yes.
That's a huge thing. I meant to bring that up under announcements, but I forgot. But anyway, I'm sure Liz can talk about it because that's new. So,
Let me see. I just want to
finish
do
your,
a little bit
finish
more
your
on the
report.
budget.
Yeah, to the budget.
Just to keep you informed of what our budget looks like. So in the overall picture of the $61 million town budget, we have this teeny tiny little pie slice of almost $396,000. So of that, majority is staff salaries. Our expenses are only $45,000. So that's, office supplies, it's, keeping up with our kitchen equipment, it's other things like our Crosstown Connect fee. I'll go into that in a second. And then our van drivers are funded totally separately outside of the town budget. So last fiscal year, that cost about $40,000, and MART reimburses us 100% for those van drivers.
Wow.
So luckily we have MART, and we do have 3 van drivers right now. We have 6 van driver positions for when things get even busier, we can fill those positions. And one of the questions that came up during the budget meeting was, well, if you fill all 6 positions, will MART fund all 6? Yes, they fund 100%. They also fund the gas for the van. And 1 hour of staff time per day. So they fund the drivers plus a little 33% of the indirect costs of managing this program for them. So we get that added benefit of having MART. And this is just a breakdown of that $45,000 of our expenses. Where is that all going? A majority of it goes to professional services, and that includes our William James Interface mental health referral service program. So if you're looking for a mental health counselor, you can call William James, and they will seek out a counselor for you who meets your specific criteria, your insurance, your needs, your preferences on someone. They will do all the legwork for you. So that costs the town about $16,000 annually. Crosstown Connect fee, that is our van dispatching service. That's our second most expensive expense that we have. We get an incredible bargain. This is a regional program, Crosstown Connect. So for this $11,500, we get 2 full-time dispatchers Monday through Friday who schedule all our van rides, call people to remind them of their van rides, make the manifest for the drivers every day, and do the reporting at the end of the month to give
That's
to me.
really a good deal.
So that is a fantastic deal. Acton also uses Crosstown Connect. They're a bigger user than we are. They have more clients than we do, but yeah, that is a great deal. And then everything else is just small community programs for things that the formula grant doesn't fund, or trainings, expenses, vehicle repairs, dues and subscriptions. It's all pretty small. And I just wanted to point out, if you recognize that picture,
Oh, God, yes.
For the money that we cost the town, I tried to make the point that we're also giving back to the town. So we fund our mission, not just our operations, through a lot of gifts, grants, and donations. So last year we had $56,428 in donations. 50% of that went directly to TRED, which goes directly back into the community. And then I think about 40% went to our fuel assistance and critical home repair fund, which again goes directly back to the community. So that's not money that funds our operations. We receive a formula grant from the state every year, and that's $35,000. That's from the Executive Office of Elder Affairs, and we use that money to pay all of our instructors. So our fitness classes, our art classes, supplies for those things, that's the formula grant money. And then other small grants we received last year, $11,000. That's like the Helping Hands mini grant from the Massachusetts Rural Transportation Authority, who gives us a little bit of money to purchase things for our transportation program, or like the Caregiver Respite Scholarship Program that we just received. Those are other small grants. So we cost money, but we're giving money back. And then just an update on our van. So for a long time, we've had a new van in our capital plan that we would like to purchase. I keep kicking it down the road a little bit because I had this on the capital plan, the 5-year, 10-year capital plan before COVID. And then during COVID, that 2 years, we didn't really use our van or put miles on it. So I've kind of been pushing this off a little bit further every year. So this is a picture of an electric e-transit van from Ford that has a wheelchair lift coming from the back. This, I really like this because it is small and more maneuverable looking than our big clunky buses. So I did apply for that MassDOT grant that would fund 80% of this van. I don't know if we received it yet. I won't know until later in the spring. But if we didn't receive it, we can reapply in the fall. I'm going to keep reapplying for this. And other ways we could potentially fund a van in the future if we never receive this grant. We have a gift account balance, almost $3,400 or $34,000, and the Friends have pledged $21,000 so towards a new van. So this, I'm thinking FY26, which is not next year, but the following year. So I have a couple more times to reapply for this grant to see if we can get it.
You're going to get it.
Yeah.
You will.
Yeah, so in a nutshell, that's what our budget is looking
Wow.
like. It's mainly staff salaries. Everything else is funded through grants and gifts and donations. We just have this little tiny pie slice, but I think we reach a lot of people in the community. So that's what I shared.
Wonderful.
So we did not have any budget cuts or anything like that, thankfully, and pretty much level funded with small increases to like our meal site. We added 7% to the food costs on the inflation index. It's going up, but that's about it. Very small increases. Very lean budget. Any questions?
Liz, I saw in the paper that when the state, they're running out of money and they need more, but that they had cut on COA. Now, how much of an impact did that have on you?
So you're referencing the governor's 9C cuts. That affected some areas of grants that we don't participate in. So luckily we didn't get cut. They did cut some money from Meals on Wheels, from Protective Services, from Home Care Services through Minuteman. They say they cut to stay level funded as is now, but I don't really know how that will actually affect those services. We did, for the formula grant, only receive 50%, and that's the first time it's ever happened in my 6 years as being a COA director. They have promised the other 50% of that grant, I think in the next month or two, but we should wait and see if we actually do receive it. I don't have any reason right now to believe we won't, and we won't be in any financial hardship if we don't receive it either. We do have money left over from COVID time that we were able to roll forward in the formula grant line. So we're in okay shape.
I got very concerned when I saw that.
Yeah.
But the schools didn't lose a penny,
No, of course not.
and I was very concerned
Yeah.
about.
It was a little nerve-wracking to see, but I think we'll get our other $16,000 that we're waiting for the formula grant. I think we will. If we don't, we're still okay. We're okay. And we'll have to see what the next fiscal year brings.
Very good report.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Very thorough.
Oh, gosh, yes.
It's online if anyone wants the full. That was just a quick, brief run through
I think that was
of
excellent.
that.
Well, as I said, it just is overwhelming. And I thought it was great that the finance committee recognized the fact that a lot is done and with a very bit of money.
And I did prime them that next fiscal year, we will be asking for probably additional staff hours to fund being in the new building.
Right.
Utilities are still to be seen. I'm not sure how much it will cost. I checked with other COAs who have similar sized buildings, talked with Sam at the library about what their utilities looked like in the very early days before it got dialed in, and it could be anywhere from like on the high range, I think $36,000 to $40,000. But our building is all electric, so I can't really compare it apples to apples with some of these other things. So we'll see.
Right. Whole new things, exciting things, but all new to deal with too coming. So, questions for Liz so far? Congratulations, though,
Yes.
to the whole department.
Yes.
And I think I should mention that the new Mark Connects grant, but I didn't bring my paper
Oh, this?
notes. Yeah.
Would you like to have that? I brought it with me so that we could talk about it, so therefore, please do. I think it's a wonderful addition to the program, so.
So the Montechusett Regional Transport Authority received a 3-year grant to do shuttles in all of their service area. So on Mondays, they're going to the Point, and Thursdays to Donnellan, and they're stopping at all of our denser housing sites. So Mill Pond, Pondside Apartments, Pine Tree Park, Littleton Green, Village Green. This is all fluid. We can change it if we find nobody is going to Donnellan's. We can change it to Trader Joe's. It's not set in stone. So this is posted online. It's on the town website, and we'll get it out broader. This was dropped off at everyone's apartment complexes last week, and we hope people utilize it. It's fare-free through May, and it's just a fixed route. You don't need to call to schedule your ride anymore. You just
Stand at the bus stop, huh?
you go to the meeting point.
Yeah.
With your shopping bags
With
and.
your shopping bags and get ready to go. And we'll adjust. I've gotten some feedback that they think, some folks think that it's a little too long to be at Market Basket. You don't need to be there for an hour and a half or 2 hours, but some people like to, run over to the paper store. I don't know. We'll adjust it as we go along. We'll see what the traffic trends are, I guess, and go from there.
Good. Hey,
And that's in addition to, separate from, that's not our drivers, not our buses. That's all marked,
well, that'll be exciting to see around,
nice.
actually. I would, because you see them from other towns.
Did you see them?
Yeah,
Acton, I've seen it in Acton for quite a while.
yeah. So, it's great.
But it doesn't come up to our neck of the woods where the 55-plus housing is.
Give it time, you never know.
Yeah. But, you would have thought that a 55-plus housing development, you would have thought they would have been on the list.
We tried to think which places which residents might be more likely to have cars or vehicles of their own already.
Because we do.
Yeah.
Okay. And Nicole's out, right? And the outreach coordinators are busy.
I have, Amy emailed me
Oh,
something
great.
to read.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
We have a
The
little,
outreach report.
How
All
busy
right.
and all.
even though she's running around.
Yes.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah. So I think I already said this, but every major weather event or any big thing that happens, our outreach workers call our list of at-risk residents, and that could be just people who have self-identified that they want to be on this list for a phone call check-in, or people who are homebound and dependent on services to come in to be safely at home. So we call and check on them, make sure they have everything they need before the storm. You don't have to be physically disabled to be on this list. We have some folks who are on this list because they are highly anxious people and feel better when they know someone is calling to check in on them. So if anyone wants to self-identify or refer someone to this list, just let us know and we'll add you. Okay, so the report from Outreach, they want everyone to know that the deadline to apply for fuel assistance is April 30th. Folks interested in applying should contact Alicia or Amy to schedule an appointment to complete the application. If you're above the financial guidelines for SMOC, which is the Southern Middlesex Opportunity Council, who gives out fuel assistance money, you might be able to qualify for Good Neighbor Energy Fund, which Amy and Alicia can also assist with. For those who have applied and are still waiting on their fuel assistance decision, be advised that they are working on applications submitted in November right now. So they are far
A
behind.
little bit behind.
Yes, not our outreach workers being behind.
No,
No.
it's
The
the
fuel
state,
assistance.
yeah.
Yeah. So if you applied prior to November and haven't received their decision, contact Outreach and they'll assist in kind of tracking down what happened. The Board of Health has provided our department with a box of COVID tests this morning. We only have one big box and they expire on March 25th. But in case you need them, please give us a call, and we have them upstairs in the office, and we'll get them to you. That's it.
Great, great. Thank you, Amy Forrest, please.
This camera. Thank you, Amy.
Yes. Okay, any questions for Liz about any of the EHS business?
Nope, it's all good.
It is good.
Excellent report.
Do you have any, were you going to ask a question?
I was going to ask about the 10 grant, the 10, has that been done
Oh,
yet?
yes, we still have 2 spots available. So you're referring to the caregiver respite
Yes.
scholarship?
Oh.
Yeah, so we had 8 people put their names in for that. We still have 2 spots available. Everyone should be getting a call this week to kind of finalize the details on how they're going to spend the money. I have to do a quick survey with each individual who would like to receive the money. So that should be happening this week. So if you were one of the 8, you are eligible. Yeah.
That's why I was curious. But I knew you were out all week and.
Thank you. Yep. I just got one more email update from Amy and Alicia upstairs.
Yes.
Just in case, let's see. Loaves and Fishes Food Pantry has a new online ordering system. And Amy and Alicia can walk you through how to do that, or do it with you for the first time, so you can actually go in and pick what you would like. If you are a Loaves and Fishes client, check out the new ordering system. Give us a call if you need help with it, and that's very exciting.
Wow.
It is
Very,
exciting.
very modernized.
Yeah, I
This
guess.
is right, wow.
Okay, now I'm done.
Okay.
I move to approve all of these directors and everyone's reports.
All 3 areas,
They were fantastic.
Yeah.
as always. They always
They
are.
always are.
But this was extremely thorough, so
Yeah,
thank you,
it was
Liz.
just excellent.
yes.
And it was poor, only Liz.
I know, doing it all.
Helping down here.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Second, it's been moved and seconded by Marilyn and Susan that we accept and approve the director's report, assistant director's report, and the outreach coordinator's monthly reports. Okay, so we will take our vote and we'll start to my left and go around. John?
Yes.
Thank you.
Laura Lee.
Yes, indeed, Mary Ann.
Mary Ann, 2.
Says yes,
Good.
indeed.
Anita?
Yes.
Thank you. Susan?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Marilyn?
Yes.
Jean?
Yes.
Lorelei?
Yeah.
Thank you. And Marge is a yes, so we have another unanimous vote. So, great, thank you ever so much. It's always so exciting.
May I
Here.
ask if
I think so.
we're breaking ground in March?
Yes, we are.
Still
The
planning on it.
Next
Still-
item of business is the update on the senior center, and
Yes.
yes, you know what, I was thinking about it today, because I thought, the ground really can't be frozen very hard.
No.
It was
I know, I'm
60
thinking
degrees.
about it
Because that was why they were putting it off until the ground thawed, and they're like,
It's mud.
yeah.
Places it's mud.
Anyway, so, what's the update?
So
Because
we're still on track, and I know our architect and Al, who will be the on-site project manager, went over to the Shattuck Street house and checked it out for moving in shortly to set up their construction home base. We're still planning on breaking ground in March, and a groundbreaking ceremony has not been finalized yet. We were thinking mid-March or end of March, so we can get some equipment here and actually break some ground. In terms of working on the furnishings and fixtures, we're still making some decisions, and I know the architects are coming by, or the designers are hopefully coming by this week to drop off some samples of flooring and chair upholstery, and lots of little decisions happening at this point. Still tweaking some things like the size of the medical room. If we have a full door that opens, then we have to get rid of a cabinet now, and there's little things that have to be tweaked with the actual design. Things like, are we going to have those baby changing stations in all of the bathrooms or just some of the bathrooms. It's a lot of little day-to-day decisions that are coming up right now. We're working on setting up a date to go to some showrooms to test out chairs.
Oh, I was just going to ask you about that.
And
It's
I
a
will be
big
tapping
thing.
into the board to see if some folks will come with me and test some out. I think the showroom, there's one in Worcester and one in Boston. But I did model a lot of our furniture on what the library has. Sam walked me through the building, and I was able to kind of see which one is way too low, which one doesn't have good arms, which one's sturdy. So I think we have a good idea of what we're looking for. And Brian Riley from WB Mason, who's helped with a lot of our furniture here, will be giving us the tour of the showrooms. And he's done some recent senior center buildings and some libraries recently that he has some furniture in mind that he knows has
Good.
worked out very well in these other buildings.
It's
So-
important, that is really, because
Yeah.
people like Mary Ann, I know, would have a lot of knowledge about that,
Yeah.
her work experiences and her career. So,
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
And you with your OT background.
Right, yeah.
I
So
was
I-
about to say March.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. No, because it's very important. Every time, and I've mentioned this before, and I mentioned it, every time I go to my dentist, and I sit in the one little chair in the whole waiting room that is appropriate for a senior. You know, because they bought new furniture, and the depth of the seats are way too big.
Oh,
wide.
oh.
Too, you know, and you're leaning like this. You
Yeah.
can't, and have your feet on the floor type of thing. So it's so important.
It is.
Chairs are
Your
really
feet all the way
important.
back, your feet go straight out because there's no room for the knees to go.
I know, and I speak up, it's like, I
Yes.
don't, the older I get, the less fearful I am about expressing my feelings. So, I do, I even, poor Donlands, I complained to the manager when they went shipped, changed, you know, no more plastic bags, and they had paper bags without handles. So, because that's very hard for people to carry if you.
Yeah, I usually bring my own, but I remember,
Yeah.
I forget them and leave them in the car sometimes too.
Well, anyway, yeah, but yes, but furniture is, you're right.
Oh,
Just as long as we're paying attention, that's the important thing.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
so many details I never.
Well, there are,
Oh,
So many details.
yes.
oh my gosh, don't even go
And
there.
but it's critically important, you know, that, yeah. So, great.
those that say no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Other questions about that?
No,
No.
no,
Thank you, that's great.
awesome.
I'll get my article for the broadcaster to you right away.
I got mine in early.
I know, I was been the real delinquent this month, probably.
That's okay.
Not okay, but it is what it is, so, all right. New business. If there is no more comments on the senior center, it's exciting, we're getting there. It's gonna be happening, and I'm assuming to the groundbreaking, there'll be advertising or letting people know and when the date is set, so people
Should
can come,
blast it
because I'm
out
sure
there.
seniors would like to attend.
For
Blast
sure.
it.
Before we even pick a date, I'll defer back to the board and availability.
So,
Yeah.
okay. Just because it's on the horizon.
Yes, I know it, we can see it.
Okay. All right, so, okay, moving on to new business, which is a carryover from last month. We've been tossing around the idea of talking about goals for the board, but before then, board member updates? Anything? Susan?
Here comes Sue. All these people look.
You tend to be very actively involved in many things.
Actually, I don't have much this month.
No?
Not much, no. The Affordable Housing Trust, we accepted a new 5-year action plan.
Bless you.
And Durkee Farm is the Durkee property is our main concern and our main focus for what we're going to do with it. We had a couple of consultants talk about possibilities, and that it's still up there in the air somewhere. I think that was all from Affordable Housing Trust.
long meeting, but didn't seem like I had much to report. And then Minuteman Senior Services, they are, I think I mentioned last month, they are doing a whole new branding, a new logo and a new mission statement and a new vision and sort of all new branding. And the one thing that they mentioned as part of the whole process was doing outreach within the communities to make themselves more known in a community, and then talking about this branding. And so I figure that's probably something the COA board can get involved in, is helping with the community outreach on that.
Right, and that would
It's
be-
like at the next month, that's down the road.
But that's probably true, because I don't
That's
think a lot
something-
of people understand anything about Minuteman.
Right.
Really.
So, you
I
know,
didn't until I applied for Dick to go to adult daycare. And that was the first I knew that, I thought they did nothing but Meals on Wheels.
Oh, they have,
yeah,
no, they're
no, they
very,
do a lot.
But, so, you know,
But yes, but people don't know it.
people,
Yes.
I knew nothing until the
Mhm.
people at the daycare told me. And
Maybe
they've
you-
been in touch and come to the house and,
Mhm.
No, that
Yeah,
might be a
no,
good
it's
topic
a-
for an
right.
LCTV
Well,
program.
It's
someday.
this, it's the
I'd be
same,
happy to work with you on that, Anita, if you want to do one.
that's the same thing as what Liz mentioned too, is even people putting themselves on the at-risk list. That's like a first step to, or having relatives call or a neighbor call and say, I think that person needs some help. And then that can start a whole bigger ball rolling, that because people don't know about services and don't know how to ask for it, or do I need it? Can I afford it? Can I,
Well, I'm sure, I mean, that obviously, you have a daughter or a son in Tennessee,
Yeah.
parents here,
Right, yeah.
they don't know to call or
Right.
Minuteman Services.
no, but if they,
But that's why Elder and Human Services
Right,
exists in the
exactly.
outreach department probably.
the whole
They
first
would-
step.
Can steer them,
you know.
yeah. But
I have to say, I had a really good experience with Minuteman. A client that was at EHS also became a client of St. Vincent de Paul. And I had the opportunity to work with Minuteman and their social workers to be able to help this person and pay some money to help. And they were right there doing, calling. I might have to wait a day to get an answer, but they were fantastic.
Yes.
It was that program really worked really well that week, and everything came out really great.
Yeah, I had a wonderful experience with them.
So there we go. Another
Yeah.
area that we can perhaps be helpful in getting the word out
And
about.
it was interesting, the funding
Too.
that they were going to refund us money at St. Vincent, that check came in 48 hours.
Whoa,
Whoa,
I mean, they were,
that's almost unheard of.
totally.
I mean, it was unbelievable. I sent the email, said this is how much it is, and
Wow.
2 days later, I had it. It was great. Everybody there seemed very willing to work.
All right. Make a note of that.
Very
Minuteman
helpful.
Well, in
Services.
2 days, they
Very
were at,
helpful.
first the caregiver came, but in 2 days, the gentleman was there to put the grab bars in and things like that.
Mhm.
And it was just, I saw the social worker one day, the caregiver called me the next day and said he'll be out tomorrow, and that's exactly how it was.
Mhm.
That was wonderful, and they were so helpful.
Great.
That's what you
Here
want
we go.
to hear. That's what you want to hear.
Have Minuteman Services on our list of,
Yeah.
maybe how we can be helpful in educating our community about them. Right. Yeah.
We had them for both of our mothers. Mothers were living independently, if you might say, and really wasn't, but but Minuteman was, oh yeah,
Yeah.
first name basis with them. Did fairly good.
Great. Well, thank you. That's great information, really. It is. Thanks, Sue.
That's, yeah.
Sue goes to our monthly meetings. I mean, Sue attends their monthly meetings representing this board to the Minuteman Services. So I've gone on occasion once or twice, but I've not gone routinely. But thank you for doing that. Okay.
I will, it's easy when it's Zoom. Going to Burlington is
It's a pain
not
in the neck.
on my calendar.
No.
For 9:15 in the morning.
No.
No.
Good night.
That's not on my
There is
calendar.
something to be said for a Zoom meeting.
Zoomer.
Zoom meeting, fine.
Yes.
And speaking of that, we should have probably announced, I mean, to anyone that's watching, if they're watching today, that things is closed tomorrow in Elder and Human Services, and it made me think when you were talking about Zoom, that Stretch and Flex is going to be available, though, via Zoom. And we were talking, Liz, about that. How do people get the link if
Yeah,
John and
John and
Mary Ann
I are-
Peachy would like to?
Yeah, I
Participate on
looked
Zoom.
through here and I,
Carol emailed it out earlier today. Did you check your email yet?
I'll forward the email, and I got that
I don't know
email.
if Carol has our email. That's our
yes,
may
that's
problem.
the
If
issue.
you've attended on Tuesdays before, she should, but I can forward it to you.
Are you going to do it?
It came out
Okay.
early.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We made
okay.
the decision early. We just got the email that town hall is going to be closed tomorrow, and all
Oh, wow.
employees are going to work from home.
She announces that every,
It's getting
Yeah.
bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
when the
Well,
town
that's great.
hall is
Then,
closed.
then it solves your problem, and
Yes,
also, yes, so,
I'm sending it right now.
great. So there we go, for anybody that needed to know, but,
We
yeah.
love the class.
That class is very full now. It's amazing.
Oh, yes.
I miss it. I was a faithful attender. I went, used to go faithfully.
Because always before I could see Carol,
Yeah.
it seems like quite often now there's a lady, oh, she's lovely, but she's a big lady. And I refer to her as plywood sits right in front of me.
Okay.
So it's,
That's not very complimentary.
Okay.
no, but I said I would, yeah.
But she didn't say fat, she said,
She's a big lady, she's tall, she's very
She
broad
just blocks your
shouldered.
view.
yeah.
And you're
She
just
blocks
little.
your view.
She does.
Finding your seat.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep, so then it's
Just
hard
do,
to.
like, could you please move back here and let me move up front?
Yeah, we'll switch places.
Switch places, switch
Places, we're
places.
there.
So just a note on that, we had
Yes.
48 people sign up for Stretch and Flex
Oh, my gosh.
Tuesdays.
I know.
Tuesday's the days.
Tuesdays.
Yes.
And we,
Is there a cap that you're
we've
considering?
never had to have a cap before.
That's what we were concerned
That is
about.
amazing.
Yes,
we-
it is. We were, no room, I mean, no room at the inn.
Yeah,
Wow.
we checked in with Carol to see, because people are signing up but not actually attending.
Yeah, I missed it.
It's kind of like you sign up for the gym in January and you peter out, you don't continue, but
New Year's resolution.
I saw
Yeah.
48 people.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're checking in with her to see if 48 people are actually attending, because I don't see how that class could be that size. Would say the max is 28.
Well, I was
I
going to
think
say,
we had 6 no-shows,
Yeah.
Yes, we
I
did.
think when she-
Because she does her
her list.
Yeah.
roster.
Yeah, I wasn't there on Tuesday, I had a doctor's appointment, because I just signed up.
Well, I
last
did too,
week.
but I had already
Really
told
a
her I
great
wouldn't be able
class.
to be there last Tuesday.
well, I was,
What a
Awesome.
testament to how
I was just going
great
to
her
say,
class is.
I know.
she has such a great reputation, you wouldn't, and I miss it. I go to PT now, so I haven't been going to Stretch and Flex, but I still, I'm on her list.
Yeah.
I dearly love that group.
I do. Yeah, we
Okay.
definitely.
Okay, one item of business, board goals for 2024, we need to get to. So, and time's a-flitting here. And Liz, we're going to lose Liz shortly, 15 minutes or so.
Yes, she
So,
would
and
see how
she
her
needs to
son
be able to
may
get
know at
organized to
school.
get home, to be home all day tomorrow. So,
And school being
yes.
canceled.
So, in your minutes, are, on the second page, there are some of these things that we talked about last month. And explains this, that we talked about the fact that there were 4 or 5 of us that attended a training in Fitchburg, and we were amazed when we learned that other boards don't function quite the way this board does. So, and we want to improve the way we function here. So, and one of the things we've learned in the past year is that this whole new organizational structure of having Nicole notify Susan, the member of the board, when she needs, Nicole feels an event is
Yes,
going to be needing help.
right.
And Susan is the board member that Nicole reaches out to,
Yes.
lets her know that we need help.
That's a
She
great
needs help,
system.
either setting up, serving,
Yes.
doing whatever Nicole
worked
needs.
well.
And board members have stepped up to that.
it
And really
works
met
really
that
well.
need. And that has led us to think, okay, how else can we be helpful? And we had brought this up, you know, and I remember asking Liz, put your thinking cap on, how else can we? And writing thank you notes came up. Yes, that's a great,
I
thank
can
you.
do thank you notes.
So, well, anyway, I mean, it can be very simple things, but it would be helpful. We might as well
Yep.
help the staff out.
I have nice penmanship.
So, here we are. We need to talk more about this to try to get ourselves organized and decide. And also, Susan had talked about relooking our mission statement.
No,
Don't put it on you.
don't put the blame on me.
No, I'm just saying,
no,
like,
no.
you
Liz mentioned it.
Okay,
We'll
that's
put the
great.
blame on Liz.
I mentioned vision
And mission and vision and,
Lorelai sent me some fantastic examples.
Oh,
I just
good.
have not
okay,
had the opportunity yet to get to there.
Good.
all right. Thank you, Lorelei.
They are flagged and starred in my email.
Oh, good,
Awesome.
great, thank you ever so much,
Awesome.
Lorelei. Lorelei does so much behind the scenes.
She does. She's
Yeah.
We need to find a time that we can get you in person for maybe an hour, just so that you can, everybody can really feel like they, you know, have interacted with you a little bit
Yes,
differently.
yes,
So
yes.
you're so vitally important to us.
For
You
sure.
have to realize that, so.
For sure.
Okay, so, all right, how do we want to proceed? We have about 15 minutes to, we have suggestions. Cleaning up, professionalizing policies, that's, I think, would fall under that umbrella of, we were just talking about.
Mission and vision and,
I think we should maybe set some priorities, and think, or beginning priorities, where we think we want to focus first, put our energy first. If it's something about the thank you notes, that probably could be easily taken care of. So, create a vision statement, maybe, just, that whole thing, getting in the, do you want to send it out to the board members? Maybe, so board members can look at what Lorelei has provided, and we can all offer us, come to one
That's what I
meeting.
thought, yeah.
And that would be the agenda item we're going to talk about,
Yeah.
Yeah.
maybe? That would be good,
Yeah.
probably.
Sounds good.
Yes.
Other ideas, suggestions for me? Joe, you had an interesting conversation with someone, and I suggested to him, he emailed me, and I suggested that he shared with the board.
Well, you want to do it now, right now?
Well, we'll do it now, you know, because I don't want to miss, I want to get it in.
Okay, but I wanted to talk to Liz first. It has to do
Oh,
with
okay.
the trash bags. But
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I had a phone call from a senior, a good friend of mine, and very blunt when he talked about, he says, I want you to go before the Board of Selectmen, since you're in the COA, and ask for trash bags to be free for seniors. So,
Okay.
to be blunt, I was very short with him and said, after being a select board member for so long, knowing exactly what the budget is, that there's no
That's not
possible
gonna
way that I can see that they could actually do that, because we've almost equal the same number of people who are seniors who aren't seniors, so we went through that. In the meantime, I did contact DPW director. He mentioned that he had spoke with you a while ago about possibilities of different ways of maybe if someone qualified financially to get reduced pricing that way. I sent that up to Gary Wilson too, so he would know about that. I also talked to Chris at the transfer station, and some of the things that are very obvious is that people can't go in there and just throw things in for free, because who's going to monitor, who's going to be standing at the gate saying, how old are you?
Right.
That type of thing. A topic come up, maybe they could change the color, but then you're asking someone at a store to ask,
Yeah.
how old are you? You know, So, that's why it wasn't the top thing, knowing what you were going through, but it's something that we want to talk about in the future. Maybe there is a way through EHS that people can qualify to get the same color bag, but at a reduced rate, so that's what's been.
Right. I have a couple ideas on that. I think we could enact without creating a financial hardship for DPW or transfer station, because I know they rely on that funding. And It would be relatively easy to do like a financial test using the same guidelines as say like fuel assistance or SNAP food stamps. Do you qualify for a bag? And I don't really like the idea of doing a different color because then you're singling somebody out. Say, oh, look, that person has a polka dotted bag and mine's green or purple. But there are a couple different ways we could do it. I can talk offline about how to get that rolling.
Great. I just didn't want to not bring that up.
No.
I know that. but
I just wanted
we're
a
talking-
chance to talk to you
Right.
first before I start bringing it
Well,
up
yeah,
in
but you can
public.
talk to her here. I mean, and it's good for people to know that it's, we're talking about it. So it's okay, in my opinion, to, this is what we are here for. So, and, you know, we can bring these things to the table, and if it's something that needs to be done differently, then we will steer in that direction. So, at least now it's out there, and it won't slip between the
Plus the
lines.
manner how it's handled, it wasn't
Right.
just because I'm on the CEO, I'm not going to take off and go to a board member without
Right.
talking to the chair, without talking to the members of the board and whatnot. So iron out the proper way of handling.
Oh, Joe, you're very knowledgeable, so I don't worry about that for sure, but thank you, you know, and I think it's great that this person reached out to you, quite frankly. So, and we can, I mean, Liz, you're right, you have to talk to Liz. We have to talk to Liz about everything we do and, you know, try to have her
sense not to
cooperation
have a
and her,
I'm sort
Yeah.
of confused though, because DPW gives a senior rate for a sticker.
For a sticker.
Right, for the
So
sticker.
that, if that gentleman said, you know, that is a
Right,
is a
and it's
help
quite a
there.
good
It's a good
discount.
discount.
Even though
That's a
you're
big
paying for
help.
the same amount of your bags, supposedly if you're a senior, you have less bags. You know, I mean,
But we can talk about it later, because
Right.
there are a lot of seniors that have just as much trash as a non-senior.
Oh, yeah,
I'm one of them, I go there and,
yeah.
We do too.
they do get a senior rate on
Yes, yeah, they do.
the
Yes.
no doubt.
Bags
Yes.
can become expensive, and that's,
Oh, there's no doubt that
The bags are
they
expensive,
are expensive.
yeah.
And I'll give the select board credit. There was a suggestion this year that they go up,
Yeah,
and they didn't.
and they didn't go up,
They didn't
right?
go up.
Yeah.
That came a little
They
bit
held,
out of the
they held
budget.
tight, yeah.
Yeah.
but it makes a lot of sense not to have them be a different color, because that would
Oh, no,
be
that
very
wouldn't work.
demeaning.
okay. Well, then, thank you, though, but I did want to make sure that we did not drop our, yeah.
But it would be just a means, an income thing that would
Right.
determine, right, what it was,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, hang on, people, if you're listening, and we will pursue investigating that, or Liz will, and with Joe's help, and, see, Jean knows a little bit about it, too.
Oh, well, just that my sticker's cheaper.
See, so, okay, all right. So, all right, what do we want to address first? So let's put it, get something organized here as to how we're going to approach. What's the issue about the thank you notes for, I mean, not the issue, but what's the need? And how can we be helpful with that? That's a fairly easy thing, I think, that we might be able to find somebody to help you with. And
Yeah.
so why don't we, yeah, so.
The donations
Nicole,
that come
well,
in.
Nicole mentioned this to
Yeah.
us.
Oh, she did, yeah.
Nicole mentioned, that's why, maybe you looked at us, right?
Yeah.
Because
just
she
send out
mentioned
a
it when
thank
we
you
were
note.
setting the agenda,
Yeah.
that was a need. So you
That
know
was
what I'm
someone-
talking
Yeah,
about.
that's what
Okay,
it is.
so I think we can fix that pretty
Yeah.
That's
quickly.
easy, somebody,
Yeah.
one of us can send out the thank you note instead.
Right,
of
somebody
her.
can be the person that does it, that's all.
Right, that's
I
all.
can
Okay,
do that.
Mary.
Yes.
You're my go-to now.
All right.
So it's the issue is for folks that Nicole felt that it would be so nice to have somebody, and she makes all the arrangements for the events that are happening.
Yes.
And I just want to, aside from this, if you did not attend that ukulele event that happened last week, you missed out on something that was,
That's what I heard too.
oh my
This
God.
Hard
Yes,
because
yes.
the fall session was at the exact same time. And
Right.
some of
It
us
was.
had signed
Yep,
up for
it was.
the 6
No.
weeks of that.
Well, and that
Right.
you can't avoid, as
I
Nicole said,
know.
she has trouble, she's got so many
I
things
know.
going on.
And we
Yes.
all were saying, we wanted to go to that, we wanted to hear
It was wonderful.
We stood in the hall and listened for a few minutes after our falls.
We saw you in there.
Oh, did you?
Yes, yes,
It
yes.
was great. But anyway,
There was
so,
three
but
of them. There
Nicole
were three
mentioned that she
events
thought
that
it would
took
be
the
so
same
nice
All at the same time, yeah.
to have people like the leader of, whoever was the connected, I think it was actually a resident from, there's one resident in that ukulele
It was
group.
Robin.
Robin, I don't know her
Robin
last-
Sewell.
Robin Sewell.
Yeah.
Okay. She, I think, was the one that connected to set it up. But, so that person would then, after the event, receive a thank you note from the Department of Elder and Human Services thanking them.
Here,
And that would be something fairly simple to do, but what a nice thing to do.
yeah, yeah. I-
So,
I've trained my children, thank you notes.
so and we have to figure out, okay, do we want, what kind of a card, and do we,
Well,
but
Nicole
whoever.
Nicole had a whole pile of thank you cards.
Okay, I didn't realize that, but anyway.
She said
So-
that that's what she uses.
So, anyone want to fight with Peachy? Or Mary Ann? Sorry.
Mary Ann,
Peachy
Mary
knows-
Ann, if you're away, because like you do travel occasionally,
A little bit, yeah.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
let me know. I will gladly,
Oh, thank you, Marilyn.
okay.
Okay, easy.
Because that's
Yeah.
something I can do from home without.
Well, that's why, it's an easy thing to, it's simple, but it could be so effective.
It is. I
Yeah.
think a thank you note.
And what does Liz have she
Tops it
wants
off.
us to do?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or do you need help? Come on. Spit it out, girl.
Everywhere.
With the new building,
Spit it out.
you must have something that we can,
Yes.
pitch in and give you a hand on.
So we'll go with Liz for the furniture and this and,
That's what, I want to go try the seats, especially after those awful chairs that we are downstairs in the library.
Oh, I made sure to give them the serial
Hands
number on
up.
those chairs and say no.
No, we don't want those chairs in the Sturts room.
They know.
Because I don't want to have to sit in the chairs and have my feet going straight out.
no, I know.
I want to be able to bend my knees.
Yeah, that's not good
Noted.
posture.
Sure.
Anyway,
Yes.
okay. But we need other things like that, too, that are easily taken care of. So, I mean, that's a
Lighten
piece
the
of cake.
load. Lighten the
I
load.
will.
You can
I'll have to spend
contact,
some time brainstorming.
yeah.
When we had the meeting with their friends, they were talking about the list that you had given them, and that they needed it broken down more
Okay.
and more defined,
Yep.
so that they knew exactly what each of those items were and a dollar value to them, so that they could start. Is that something I can help you with, or,
Yeah, absolutely.
okay, when do you want to do that?
Want to do that this week, next week?
We can do it after Wednesday, not Wednesday, but Thursday or Friday.
I'll email you sometimes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, and then
And
we,
that, because I think they said that they're not going anywhere, and they're not going to start anything until they have that list defined, so that when they go out to talk to people, or if they're talking to citizens, they want the right information. And I think if they have that, there's enough of them that they want to step forward and start. You could see the energy there, but it was pulled back because more information was needed.
Okay.
I think that's the biggest holdup on that, and that might get,
get it going.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, because they do need to get that
They
going.
need to get it out there and advertise, and they talked about the bricks, and that Charlie wants to, do all of that. But the naming of everything, that needs a little bit more refining.
Yeah. Okay, so you're going to work with Liz on that?
I'll work with that, just to get it done for by the time their next monthly meeting is, so they'll have something.
Okay, and Liz was going to send out the sample mission, vision statements to all of the board members, right? We'll do that, and then we can look it over and come up with our thoughts and ideas for the next meeting? Is that a good way to start things, with covering the more professional type of things, and then some of the more concrete action items that we can,
yes.
and I do agree, that needs to be, we need to stay on that issue of helping them in any way that we can, supporting the idea of Friends getting out there and working with, I mean, I'm sure there are businesses in town that would love to help support the senior center. And who knows?
And I
Have a room
think,
named after somebody,
and I think there are people in town that want to help
Yes.
and make donations to, I'm being funny, but a coffee pot or, a table or whatever they wanted to do, just so that they could make a donation to something and,
Somehow, we have to get the word out, because with no newspapers, people are complaining that we don't know what's going on, the broadcaster can't be
they're really
everything.
looking, the Friends have a couple of really cool ideas if they do it.
The library.
Would really make a big difference
We
in
just
town.
they gotta move. They gotta start moving.
Yeah.
We need action, but I think that, again, too, that's something like I will put in the broadcaster for, the next issue. Even just attending, I know there are people that just want to participate and be part of the whole new center. So we need to get the word out and, let them know what's going on and keep them up to date, so.
And there's people that aren't old enough for the broadcast, so let's put it that way.
Right, but they still are
But
interested.
they're interested in what's going on in the town. They're interested in what's going on up there. Oh, that's going to be this. Well, there's no way that we know about any of this. Only,
But our new town administrator, Anita and I, did you see the LCTV show when Anita and I interviewed him? Watch it. We did it recently.
Because I've seen him at Finance Committee.
Well, you need to watch the interview, though. We talked about the lack of a newspaper in town.
And he has
and
plans.
He's aware of that, so that's why I'm suggesting.
Not Groton, but Boxborough has started with a weekly.
Well, he has some other ideas, but he's aware that there's a huge need there. And I think it was Morrison, what's her first name on the select board?
Karen.
Karen. She's already approached him, he told us, I think, didn't he say that? Yeah.
And Anita,
So, yes, you agree.
when the library had their fundraising, they had that endowment program where you could pledge, and I think it was, I don't know if it was 2,000 or 3,000 for a pledge, and you had 3 years
To pay it off.
to pay it off. And that's just people donating toward the center, not specifically naming.
Right, just to donate to it.
That's just an endowment pledge to support.
And I suggested to them that they should get that thermometer back out on the street.
Yes.
I said, you really need to
Yeah,
put
'cause
that
that's
out
what
there.
Push that pledge up.
Yeah, and just
Everybody
show that
wanted it
there's,
to go up.
put some money in there and then start the donations, but at least get that out where people can see this is senior center funding, let's go, type of thing.
And you get all ages
Yeah, all ages would probably
pledge
give.
that.
Because I think
I
when
like that endowment thing,
That's a
that's,
good, yeah, I remember that.
Pick a,
That's-
pick
Now she
a
mentioned it.
number, a balance.
The
I
library
remember
one
that.
was
And
a,
then some people paid it off right away, other people did 1,000 a year.
yeah,
And,
yeah.
So it was a great way. I mean, they hit $1 million.
I know.
Right,
The other thing is too, we can remind people that there is a town account,
yes,
right?
there is.
A town account for this new senior center. Is that the name of it? I think something like that.
The new building gift account.
New building gift account, okay.
Right.
And people can just send a check
They can
in,
just send a check,
check in to, and that will go into that account.
right.
New building gift account? Okay. I'm gonna stop pushing that too, or getting that information out in the broadcaster. Okay.
And it would be nice to be able to lower the cost by $1 million.
Oh,
That would be a fantastic,
No, wouldn't that be?
that would be really a cool idea.
there are some
That would be
people-
cool if we could all, in town, work together towards that, just like with the library.
Best.
And give it back and say, here, we're knocking down your bill a
I mean,
little
we
bit.
have businesses.
A little bit.
Well, we have businesses
But every
in
little
town
bit
that are,
counts,
I'm sure would help.
Right.
And from large, amounts of money to, hey, $25 helps. So, okay, Liz has to go, we have to wrap things up. Well, we don't have to wrap things up, but she has to leave, so. And nobody will be manning the computer unless somebody wants to volunteer, so. We will, okay. Anything else? I think we've got a little bit of a plan here. We're heading in some direction with our goal,
Yes,
so.
yes.
Okay. Anything else that needs to come before the board? No? Then I think we can adjourn.
Put a word into Liz about getting that in here.
The new what?
wait a minute, we have a little, maybe, we need one more thing happening, so. You know, you don't need us, no for the board, okay. Okay, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Oh, what's that?
That side of the room wants to get out of here.
All right, Joe's face is red,
Joe got it first.
Joe got it first, and you got a second. We'll go with Joe moved and Susan seconded that we adjourn the meeting at what, 4:20? Yes. So, all right.
Side of the table.
All right, John. Mary Ann.
Says yes.
Anita.
Yes.
Yes. Susan?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes?
Marilyn? Yes. Jean? Yes. And Marge? Lorelei? Yes. And Marge. Okay.
No one in the audience?
No audience, would,